Hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. I hope everybody's doing well here today in the Philippines and in USA and all throughout the world. Today I'm doing a video on things that are different here in the Philippines compared to what it is in USA as it is of July 17th of 2020. So I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's probably about 10-15 minutes, and it talks about things that what are different now here than what it is in USA. I hope you guys enjoy this, and thank you so much for watching. Hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today I want to talk about something that some guys asked me, a great question in one of the comments, and an email today from Scott from Ireland asked me, Tom, what is some of the things that you've noticed is different there than where you lived in USA? This gentleman from Ireland lives in San Francisco, and he was telling me he knows things are quite a bit different. And my friend John Baker lives in Dakota, was saying the same thing. He says, you know, Tom, he says, in a comment also today, people, and these are my thoughts only, people here in the Philippines are family oriented, and they're family oriented in U.S. But how many of you guys, and John brought this up, how many guys actually know your neighbor that lives next door to you at your house where you live in U.S. and any other country? And I happened to think about that a minute, and I said, you know what, that's funny you said that. I knew my neighbor, I didn't know my neighbor, I knew my neighbor and didn't know my neighbor. And what I mean by that, they're in and out. I work and they work, and did we ever get to really know each other? Not really. And here, everybody kind of knows everybody, and they know it's going to rain. Everybody kind of knows who you are, and they're there to help you in any way. But you know, I got to thinking about that today. Another thing is, there are family oriented here. You're in trouble. Family, they come running. They may have a disagreement with you, or they may be unhappy with you. They'll come running. In U.S., they'll come running. Maybe not. And what I mean by that is, you have family members upset with you, or you're upset with a family member, or you guys have a conflict. Do you really contact each other? And do they really show up in time of need? 3 years, Pastor said this last Sabbath. He said, all the years and how many people I've saved and how all the travels I've been throughout the world, Asia, U.S., Canada, and some of the places, Hong Kong, Thailand, Singapore, Brazil, Africa. And one of the things he brought up was, of all the people I've saved and all the people I've associated with and all the people I've been with, how many friends can you actually count on your hand? He said, I can count 10 out of all the people I've actually known in my life. And, you know, you think about it, you know, it kind of boils down to that. The things are changing, times are changing. Who's really your friend? That's the thing. You got to ask yourself that question too. Are they really your friend, or are they acquaintances? They have motives behind having a friendship. Is there a motive behind having that? I don't know. You can't judge. You can't make a decision on that, right? You can't say, oh, this person's after something. You can't do that. You're going to be friends with them, right? But it does make you think about things. Another thing that here in the Philippines is different than USA is in times of struggle and need, they all pull together. If his house crashes, everybody goes there and does that. Do they do that in U.S.? Yeah, they do. In hurricane times, when we had hurricanes and we're behind the 8 ball there in Florida, and many of our neighbors lost the top of their houses and things, and we all pooled together and got together, and people used my generator and I used their pool. They used my generator for their refrigerators and their freezers and things like that, because I had 2. But we all pulled together. They shared food with me because they had freezers full. and I shared my generator and fuel. So we all kind of work things together. Neighbor had the garage door closed with his generator on. No, right? So a lot of people, you're there to help people in need. But is that really the truth on all? Here, I can say, that neighbor, that neighbor, that neighbor, that neighbor, that neighbor, and that neighbor, we're all kind of pulled together. Times need. What I mean by that is they saw me out here one day here a few months ago, working in the yard and things like that. I had a lot of stuff I was moving. We had tree limbs work on the ground, and well, guess what? They didn't have anything to do. They come over and help. Did they ask for anything? No, not really. They didn't ask for anything. Did they expect anything? No, not really. But those are important factors. Another thing that's different. Now, and I'm not saying they don't do that in the U.S. They do. I mean, I had to pay the tractor guy come pull some trees down for me and pull them out there. But do they help? Sure, they help. But it's a little bit different. I think it's calamities. I think it's culture. I think it's a little bit different. In America, we all are trying to strive for the mighty dollar. We're trying to survive every day of our life. And what I mean by that is we're trying to pay the bills and pay everything and do everything we're supposed to do. And we find ourselves stressed out. Here, they do the same. But here, it's a little bit different. They're not as rush. They're not running around. They're not as, excuse for the roosters, they're not as active as what I mean by that, they don't have 15, 20 stops a day as we do in the U.S. We go somewhere, we have 15, 20 stops a day. Well, we go pay electric, and we got to go here, we got to go there, we got to do this, we got to go do that. And sometimes we go do this and that, and just, do we really need to do it? I don't know. I used to have to pin myself down in the house because I would be so busy in the U.S. Here, I'm busy, but not as busy as I was in the U.S. Kids here, or kids, when you see a group, what's different here than in USA? You see a group of kids in USA, 15, 20, 30 of them together. Are they up to good or no good? Well, in some cases they're up to good. Some cases they're not so good. Here, where I'm at, now I'm only going to spout where I'm at. Here, they're good. You have 15, 20, 30 kids out there. They're not going to do anything. They're not going to destroy anything. They're not going to tear up your property. They're not going to hurt anything that you have. They're not going to destroy anything. They're going to climb on your fence. USA, possibly. Something that's different here than USA. No, it's the culture, the food. They have rice where we don't have rice. We have pasta. We're very lucky in the U.S. to have all the foods and things that we have. Here, they may not have all that, but you know what? They don't complain. I find that I'm out to lunch with someone, another American or someone. They complain, well, this does not taste good. This is horrible. This don't have no seasoning on it. This is not. Where here, they just go with it. If it's horrible, they don't say anything to anybody. They don't complain. At least they don't to me. All my family speaks English, except for a few. So they pretty well tell you. Well, they're open-minded to a certain extent. I mean, they know what kind of person I am. They can kind of tell me their feelings and things. When you're sick here in the Philippines, everybody pulls together. If they know that I'm sick, they come visit and make sure I'm well. I do the same. That's another thing that's really different. USA, they come visit, but it's like a chore. Here, it's not a chore. They just do it. Birthday parties, for example, cake is an obvious thing here. Cake, and more cake, right? So, do they like the cakes? They do. Sometimes they live for the day, not for the future. They will buy cake and food and other things like that. We, as Americans, will not buy. We will save. If we get $100 in our pocket, we'll spend $50 on food and all the other stuff. A lot of times we won't spend all of it. Well, we know we have to have fuel and other things and food for the next week. And we plan accordingly for that. Here, on the other hand, they will spend it. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not a bad thing. That's who they are and what they like doing, and they all survive, and they survive fine. Another thing that's different than now I'm shooting from the hip here. Everything is popping in my head. Another thing that we do different in USA that they do here, they are so relaxed here, they're not rush. They're not in a situation where if they got to be there and the thing starts at 8, if they show up at 8:30, it's okay. They hadn't started yet anyway. If it's an outing or a thing you got to be at, or it's a church, or if it's something at school or whatever, Yeah, it's okay. You show up at 8, it's okay. 8:30, it's okay. We have orientation we have to go to for RR. We need to be there probably an hour prior to them doing. That's what they stated. We show an hour late, still okay. They probably just got started. That's one thing I've noticed here. Never be in a rush, never be in a hurry on anything. Unless you're catching the bus. Bus lines always run, but they're getting to be on time. Because they have so many passengers they have to do, so they run around. Another thing that's different here than they are in U.S. During this particular situation where with the honey badger, they seem to care about the people and everybody around and make sure everybody wears a mask. You don't wear a mask, you don't get entry. You have a problem with it, it's your problem. You don't like it, don't go in there. In U.S., people will just fight the battles and do everything they can do to fight it. People gonna get mad. People get mad. A lot of people get mad for me saying that, but it's true. Americans are that way. And I've been in retail a lot of my life and done many other things in my life. But one of the things I noticed is that you have people that are happy, you have people that are not so happy, you have people that are just unhappy no matter what. You got people that claim to be happy and they're really not happy at all. I mean, you can actually tell by watching them, seeing them, watch your actions on channels and things like that. But I know that really overall is, if you come here to the Philippines, you do feel a little bit better and you don't have all that. And I know everybody in the world's trying to get here, and I understand that. Believe me, I understand that 100%. A lot of people are going back to the U.S. because they don't like it here during this particular lockdown. A lot of people, U.S. citizens, are going back with their U.S. citizen wives, Filipinas. Some are going back just in general. Some are going back for many other reasons. But I've had quite a few write me this last few weeks telling me, gosh, you're going back. We're good. Why? I don't know. I asked a couple. They told me it's for various reasons. Food, nowhere to do, nothing to do, same old. One guy says, well, I can go fishing, but I'm tired of fishing now, so I got my fishing out, and I've been doing it for like 5 years, so I'm done. I'm going to go back to U.S., see what else he can get into in U.S. Okay. There's one guy who's been here 8 years. He says he's going back just because he's run the gambit here. He said, I'm just tired of lackadaisical lifestyle. I said, well, things are not always the same when you go back, too. I said, when you go back there, it's not going to be the same as it was when you left there. It's going to be completely different than what you think it's going to be. But I said, that's up to you, and it's your life. You do whatever you want. Well, I know that, right? We all think it's going to be like it was. Grass is greener on the other side of that fence, right? But it's how you look at things, and it's how I look at things. I know I'm rambling on here. But just my thought of the day, I was thinking about this earlier, and I had people, John, and some guys ask me about it, so I want to talk about things that are a little bit different here than with our U.S. Another thing here that I've noticed seems to be happening a lot of is if you're actually planning to come here to the Philippines, you may find, you might take you a little longer to get where you need to go because of the tricycles. Not as many out as it was, not as many taxis out as it was. You're going to be limited space and things like that. It's okay. Get you some transportation when you come. But I thought I'd do this video, and I want to thank everybody for always watching our videos. And thank you so much for coming on today and spending your valuable time. So that's it. And thank you again. I'm looking at the yard. We got some ripe tomatoes here on the other side. Things go fast. Remember the tomatoes we looked at yesterday? I think we got a couple over here I need to pull. We're going to look right now. I need to cut the grass again, I see. Yeah, it's okay. That was red. This was red. I should pull those two. Be all right. Anything down there? Oh, yeah, there's many down here. I think I'll wait another day. I'm all. We'll get 3 or 4 tomatoes out of there. It's okay. We'll plant another 8 or 10 plants in the back. We're doing it a couple different ways. We got some peppers here. I can pull this. I can pull this pepper. Got some peppers. I got a pepper plant back there. I pulled about 40 peppers off of. It's the small peppers. So, thank y'all. You guys have a great day. God bless. Thank you so much for always watching the videos.